everyone, and welcome back to Talk Wordy, my hub for all of the words that I'm reading, writing, or otherwise yapping about. Today, I have another very special author guest for you. She is the USA Today best-selling author of over 15 contemporary books and graphic novels, and her latest release, Rebel Without a Clause, is available now on Kindle Unlimited right in time for the winter holidays. Please welcome Katana Collins to the show. Katana, welcome to Talk Wordy.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I am such a Christmas dork, and so this book and you coming onto the show has been a highlight I've been greatly looking forward to.
You.
I have my Christmas light shirt on.
You sure do. I wish I had known. I would have put on like one of my little Christmas sweaters, but
All good. No, I was so excited, and this was the perfect book to kind of kick off my Christmas reads because usually I don't start reading Christmas books until December, but I've been like,
oh,
yeah, but I've been really, really wanting Christmas to just hurry up already. I would like to skip Thanksgiving and go to Christmas. So this was the perfect
yeah.
joy read for me. And speaking
Oh, thank
of,
you.
yeah, of course. And speaking of reading, I want to kick off the episode going over what you and I are reading, watching, and listening to lately. So, apart from your book, kicking off my Christmas reads, I'm also reading a book called Conform by Ariel Sullivan. It is not a Christmas book,
Oh,
but it is a like a new dystopian book. Read with Jen. So Jen Bush Hager. Um,
yeah. Oh,
I've really been catching up with like her like book club picks, and this was one. And as somebody whose heart was like rooted in the 2010s dystopian uh, fantasy fiction. I have been technically audiobooking, but I've also been going back and forth with my print copy. It's really captivating. I'm having a good time.
oh,
I'm like 100 pages in right now, so hopefully I finish this in the
okay.
next like week or so. What about you? What have you been reading lately?
So I just started reading A Court of Mist and Fury.
Is this a reread or is this the first one?
Nope, this is my first time.
Oh my gosh,
This
you
is
are
my first
living
time.
my
I
dream.
I had to go back and kind of like refresh myself on the first book because it had been a minute for me
Yeah.
since I read A Court of Thorn and Roses. But yeah, so this is, and all of my friends have been like, this is the book you're gonna be obsessed with. And it's funny, actually, I was just at the dentist today and I had it with me. And my dental hygienist was like, "Oh my God, who's your favorite character?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know how to answer that because literally all of my friends keep telling me I haven't met my favorite character yet in the series. Or like maybe I've met them, but
They're
I
newer.
don't really, yeah, like I don't know them well enough yet. So I have a strong suspicion who they think my favorite's going to be, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm like literally only, I think, 40 pages into it. I just started
Okay.
it.
40, yeah, you probably don't know them. I'm curious. Okay, did they give you a name of who they think that you're gonna like the most?
Um, I think they did, but I've already forgotten.
I was like, I feel like
I
whoever
so
they picked is very like
wait,
telling.
if you said the name, I would recognize it because I think it's the guy who like is watching the hand tattoo guy, right? Isn't there like
Oh, I'm scared I'm walking into a trap because imagine I say a name that you're like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, oops. My
I
bad.
mean, look, I don't know either because like I said, I read the first book a really long time, not long, but like at least a year ago. I really had to refresh myself on what the F happened. So, um, yeah, like, and even like the way that they worded it, I was kind of like, oh, wait, so is there another love interest? Like, I was like, does this become wide shoe? I got very confused at why they were like, this, you haven't met the person yet that you're gonna love.
Oh, I
And I was
see.
like, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Without spoiling, it just means that universe gets bigger. Like you just
hmm
meet new people. Um, and your friends are
Okay.
right. They are awesome. Like
Okay.
I if you liked A Court of Thorns and Roses, you will love this book. I don't think I've ever met anybody that's liked book one more than they like book two. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing, that like book two is like if you were like, oh, this was a good read, but I'm not like super hooked yet, they were like, this is the book. I guess they were a little nervous that I'd put down book one and didn't immediately go into book two, but they were also like, yeah, but that kind of what if book two doesn't grab you, then just stop, right? Like if you
Yeah.
finish book two and you're not into it, it's probably a bad sign for the rest of this year. But I think I will because I really liked book one. I just I feel like on my TBR list, I just had other things that I
Yeah. No,
had
that's completely
slated to read.
understandable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, I beg of you, because it sounds like you are genuinely in the dark, do not look up fan
Very
art.
much.
Do not look up, like, if you're
Okay.
talking about this book, make sure your phone is far away so that it doesn't like
Uh-oh.
hear you and recommend stuff. Because reading that book, I read those books as they came out, like before Book Talk was a thing, and like it was stellar. I don't think I'll ever get a
Yeah.
reading experience like that ever again. Just like completely
Yeah.
like the internet's not going to tell me anything. So I hope you enjoy it.
That's pretty great.
It's so
I
good.
the book that got me into romantasy was The Cruel Prince. Which
Yes.
I
Oh my gosh.
oh my God, I loved that. That whole series I loved. And it was funny. I just kind of like picked it up on a whim, sort of similarly. Like I read it while Book Talk was a thing, but I wasn't really on TikTok all that much at the time. So I like started reading it and we were at our little lake house and it was like winter. So there was just nothing to do, right? It's like, I'm not going outside. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
no.
sit here by the fire and read this book. And after like a day and a half, I was almost done with it. And I like set the book down and I looked at my husband and I was like, we need to go to the bookstore now because I can't finish and not have the next. Like, I
Oh yeah.
can't read the last chapter and not have the next one in hand. I will be beside myself. So
Yep.
I'm going to stop reading until we can get the next book. So then I can just like keep continuing on. But yeah, that was my first foray into romanticy.
And what a great pick. Oh my gosh. I feel like
It's great.
not enough people talk about The Cruel Prince, and if they do, it's like
I
derogatory. And I'm
know.
like, what do
I
you have
know.
against this book?
I really like take offense to it as if I was Holly Blackett.
Yes.
Like when people, I'm like, I feel personally attacked if you didn't like this book. Um, yeah, I don't really, I mean, that's the funny thing with all reading though, right? Is like when you love something, you're like, oh, can you not love it? Like, although that's not true. Sometimes I read a book and I'm like, oh, I get it. This isn't for everybody. This is not everyone's cup of tea. Like, there are certain books that I really get it. But I think where I get very confused is when I'm like, but if you like that, how can you not like this? Like, that's where
Agreed.
to me, I'm like, oh, mind blown. Um, but anyway, so that's what I'm reading.
Yeah, every time somebody's like, I want enemies to lovers, The Cruel Prince is the first thing I recommend because I'm
Oh,
like, I'm telling you, they hate each other. They hate
yeah,
each other. His name is her bully.
true enemies to lovers, that
And then
one.
if
Like,
they don't like it, I'm like, you don't really want the smoke. You don't really like enemies to lovers. You like rivals
yeah.
and annoyances. But I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
exactly. Which, like, fine. That is totally fine. But also, like, if you really like enemies to lovers, this is the one.
This is
So
one good.
good.
Okay, so that's what we're reading. Watching
Yes.
wise, I am in the middle, just like probably every other person on this planet right now, almost every other person. If you're not rewatching it, it's okay. Stranger Things. I
Mm,
my husband and I are 6 episodes deep into season 4. We've been watching like 2 or 3 episodes a day, and let me tell you, I forgot in season 4 how long these episodes get. The
yeah.
finale of season 4, just that one episode, is 2 hours and 22 minutes. Like, I am on a god tier level of couch rotting these last
Yeah.
2 weeks. It's so awful. Um,
Yeah.
but I hadn't rewatched the entire series front to back ever. I think I had watched it once minus season 3 because I loved the 4th of July kind of aspect. But now that I'm
Yeah.
rewatching everything, my rankings are shifting and I'm kind of
Okay.
shocked. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been watching. I literally have no
Okay.
time to watch anything else.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to like finish your rewatch for when the new season drops. That's dropping real soon,
It
right?
drops
Like,
Wednesday.
yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say like in a couple of days. I was pretty sure it dropped sometime the week of Thanksgiving. I just wasn't sure when. Yeah, that's a lot to get through.
Yep.
Uh, I am watching Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
um,
You're speaking my
and
language.
yeah, and I think tonight, nope, not tonight. Tomorrow night's the final.
Yes.
So almost done with that one. I'm also rewatching Schitt's Creek,
Oh,
which is
good.
like my little
Pick.
comfort. It's my comfort show. So that's like what I put on when I'm like, I just need something like light and heartwarming.
Okay, I have to ask. I am a
Mm.
Dancing with the Stars like mega fan, like OG. I have to know, who are you rooting for? I'm not gonna make you pick one, but like if you have one, I want to know.
So I will say I think this is one of the best seasons. I mean, I
Yeah.
I will also say I took like a long hiatus of not watching. Like I used to really watch it. I have such a like big sister adoration and love of Robert Irwin.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
really rooting for him. I also Alex Earl just really caught me by surprise. I was like, dang, who is this girl? Okay. Yeah, like she's very talented. That's what I mean. Like there were so many really talented dancers this season, and like some who obviously there's like discourse online because some people were professionally trained. But that's always the case. That has been like Dancing with the Stars lore since
Yeah.
the beginning. And like admittedly it's not always fair, but I always felt like theoretically the judges should judge harsher on the people who are. I don't know that that actually happens. I don't feel like it happened this season. I feel like they're really throwing out some tens and nines, crazy this season.
Yeah, I agree. I just
Yeah,
something that Lynn in particular was always good about was if it was not up to par with like professionals, he
yeah.
would bring out that four paddle. When the premiere was happening and the lowest was like a five, or maybe there was a four in there, but like
I
that was
don't
like
think
the
there was. Was
absolute
there?
lowest. I don't remember.
I don't
Um,
remember either.
but I just you have to start low so that there's progress because otherwise
Yeah.
there was one night that it was week 3. Andy and Lauren Jauregui had the same score. What BS?
In
That
what
was
world? In what world? And I
in what
love
world?
Andy. Don't
I
get me
love
wrong.
him.
Like I love him and like it really was a joy to watch him every week.
Oh, he was
But
hilarious.
like
I adored him, but
but
come
they should not
on.
have the same score.
No.
But yeah, so that's what I am watching. That's my
Okay.
answer.
I love it. Last bit, listening to. I obviously Christmas tunes, and I've also been recently getting back into Foreigner. I love dad rock. I love classic
Oh,
rock. I
yeah.
I went on like a road trip last weekend, and my dad was driving, and he had on, his dad music station, which I don't know why I'm calling it dad music because like that's my music too. But he had a foreigner song was playing and I just like couldn't place it. I was like, I've never heard of this one, but this one's good. It's called Urgent. And
Hmm,
I downloaded it and now I'm just binging foreigner music all the time. So
nice.
that's what
I
I've
like
been listening
Foreigner.
to.
Yeah.
I love it.
I find the listening to question actually probably the hardest because I'm more of a podcast person than I am
Hey, that counts.
music, but I am also listening to Christmas music and I'm listening to a lot of the same Christmas songs over and over because I'm writing these parodies right now
Oh, yes.
for my social media. So like, oh my God, I did one of I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. And I had to listen to that song on repeat so many times to
Oh,
try to get
yeah.
like the matching of even just
Rhythm
like
and
counting syllables, right? I'm like, well, how many syllables are in that sentence? And then I have to like match it to my parody line. So like if I never hear I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas again, I think that's okay. um,
yeah.
and then I've been kind of listening to the Taylor Swift.
Oh, the new one? Yeah, I feel like people are glazing over the fact that it came out. Like it's only been out for like 2 months, but I feel
No,
like people
yeah,
are already moving on. It's like
that's a shame.
I know, I'm like the
I'm not.
buzz has been barely there. I feel
Yeah,
like it
I
lasted.
really like the album.
It was
The
good.
more I listen to it, the more I like it as well. I
It
find like
does
some of the
age
songs I
really
was like,
well.
oh, also like she's a Fourth Wing fan, right? The
Oh,
lyrics of Opalite,
Opalite.
I was like, girl, come on.
Yeah, because she makes curated playlists for her Fourth Wing books. I know she does it for her contemporary ones too, but there's always
Mhm.
like it's littered with Taylor Swift. So
Oh
I
yeah.
cannot wait. I cannot wait for
Yeah.
the next book just to see Opalite at like number
Opalite
one.
in it, like, oh God, amazing. Yeah.
Opalite's in it like four times, just like scattered.
I'm okay with that. Like I could just listen to Opalite on repeat as I read the book. Just
All it's
over
missing
and over.
is some sleigh bells, and I swear to you, it's a Christmas song. I swear.
Oh,
It
I
gives
hadn't thought of that.
it gives like chart topper Christmas music for me.
Okay.
Like newer Christmas music, obviously not like older Christmas music.
Sure.
But okay, while we're on Christmas, let's get into it. Okay, I want you to tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about your newest release. Give us, tropes, pitch, anything you want to share about Rebel Without a Clause.
Yeah, Rebel Without a Cause. I mean, I really just kind of usually start by saying, like, it's a Hallmark movie with some spice added in. Like, if you like Hallmark movies and you want a little bit of spice in there, it's going to be your cup of tea. It is about a woman who comes back to her hometown. Sort of like, I don't think I actually name the state or anything, but it's like a mountain town, right?
Hmm.
Um, so she comes back home. Her parents run this like lodge, and it's like a very Christmassy town. And they have a festival every year, and the winner of the festival wins like some money and some advertising. But recently, this like big hotel chain moved into the area and has been pulling clientele from her parents' lodge. So she comes to learn that her parents are going to have to close the inn if they don't win the festival. And she is newly unemployed and basically, like, in her true displacement sort of style, decides to take it upon herself to like help her parents win this, keep the lodge open. And to do this, she feels that she absolutely, without a doubt, needs 8 reindeer for the Santa Claus contest. And who does she turn to rent these reindeer but her, I don't know, they weren't flames, they weren't old flames in high school, but they were passing ships maybe, right? Like they almost but didn't. And he's the reindeer farmer in town, as one is. um and so she wants to rent 8 reindeer. He's like, that's insane. Like, that's certifiable. No one should handle 8 reindeer except for me. And he basically like makes a bet with her, and he's like, well, if you can handle this one reindeer today, then yeah, I'll let you rent 8 of them, but at the price of a cheap price, and you can like work off the rest of it on my farm. Because he's like, she's not gonna last an hour, the city girl with this reindeer. But she does, and then she gets all the reindeer and they're forced to work together. So trope wise, it's like forced proximity, grumpy sunshine, obviously small town, kind of some like grinchy aspects to it. That's pretty much the essence, I think. Am I missing anything?
No, I think you covered it. I have to know, on a scale of Luke Dawson to Eve Winters, where do you stand on Christmas?
I'm definitely more Eve Winters. I am more holly jolly Christmassy. I I am in a marriage of grumpy sunshine though. Like my husband is definitely Luke Dawson, but like not even a reindeer farmer Luke Dawson. He is like every time I'm like, it's time to put the tree up, he's like, do we have to? When we first met and started dating, he came down to my family's house for Christmas, not on Christmas, but like a few days after, and stayed with us a few days. And he was like, this isn't real. Like your family's not real. Like this is a lie, right? And because like we would make hot cocoa and we would like all snuggle under giant fuzzy blankets and watch movies together and like play board games, and just it was like a lot of us all the time. And he was just like, no, nobody's family does this. Like this is what they do in movies. It's fake. And he literally said to me, he was like, you can tell your family like they don't need to do this. And I like blankly I was like, what are you talking about? Do what? And he's like, they don't need to like try to impress me. And I was like, bro, no one's trying to impress you. Like, this is
Yeah.
just who we are. We just love each other. So, yeah, I would say though, in the years now that I'm like a little older and like a little more tired, not quite as like sparkle and sunshine as I used to be. I'm a little more like, even now, like my tree isn't up yet.
hmm Yeah, I was
It
like,
will be.
I have a tree up, but it's not decorated. I will probably wait until Black Friday to or Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
One of the days that I'm at home after Thanksgiving, I'll actually
Yeah.
decorate it. But I also have cats, and so something about cats and those dang Christmas trees. It's
Yep.
like you're giving them like a Michelin star dinner, and I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah. Yep.
I
Yeah. I have a
can't.
cat. I have a cat too, and she loves to just like bat those ornaments right off the tree.
So, with how much your family loves Christmas, did they play a part in like inspiring the atmosphere of the story you wrote, or like what all helped you come up with like the universe and the premise of the story?
Yeah. I mean, I think upbringing and family plays a part in almost every story I write. Like not to say that anything is like based off any one of my family members at any given time, but I think just lived experience it does help shape those worlds that I create. Like it's actually pretty hard for me. Eve Winters is an only child, and that's always a hard character for me to write. And I write a lot of only children though, which is interesting. Although usually it's a dynamic. Usually it's like one of the romantic leads comes from a big family and then you have one only child and there's that dynamic of figuring each other out. But both Luke and Eve are only children, which is pretty rare for me
Mm,
in my books at least. Yeah, I mean, I would say like a lot of the traditions that are in my holiday books are traditions that like my family had or has. But also like I think our traditions are pretty basic. Like we don't do anything crazy. We just like watch a lot of movies and
yeah.
snuggle.
And then what about Eve and Luke specifically? Like, how did you come up with them?
That's a good question. I mean, I hate to say it, but I do think that there is a bit of a formula um to follow, right? Like coming back to your hometown is very formulaic, especially if you're doing small town romance where it just makes sense to have like a second chance component. How did I come up with reindeer farmer? I think because originally I was going to do a Christmas tree farmer, and I was like, that's really, there's a lot of those around. Like a lot of those books around, I mean, of like the Christmas tree farmer trope. But I don't see nearly as many like reindeer farmers. Although I was talking with a guy friend of mine and I was like, yeah, he's a reindeer farmer. And he was like, do they call them reindeer farmers? Like, aren't they caribou farmers? He was like, that
Oh,
doesn't sound like
yeah.
a thing. He was like, that doesn't sound real. And I was like, shut up. Don't bring logic and like,
Action.
yeah, like I don't need this negativity, man. Like, he's a reindeer farmer. We're rolling with it.
So, non-Rebel Without a Clause related, but are you working on anything new in the meantime? And is there anything that you can sort of tease or hint at for us?
Yeah, always working on something new. There's always something being written. So I am currently writing the next book in my Sealed with a Kiss series, which is the first book came out in like May or June of this past year, and it was called Meet Cuter Your Money Back. And
Great
it
title.
is, it's about a ex-Navy SEAL who opens up a matchmaking business with his like other Navy SEAL brothers. Um, and like, but secretly they're on a mission to find who murdered his wife back in the day. Um, and then so they treat their like matchmaking as if it's like a SEAL mission. So they have like earpiece, like Cyrano de Bergerac, right? Meets, I don't know,
Yeah.
rom-com. Uh, and so there's this woman wants to be a journalist. Like she really wants to be an undercover journalist, but she's currently like a copywriter and like the food reviewer for the local paper. and she's at a coffee shop working, and she literally sees this like Cyrano de Bergerac thing happening in the cafe where she's like, what in the God, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because she's like watching a date happen where the date spills wine, and then she sees the man next to her like, it's okay, clean it up, and talk about your dog. And so then she hears like, my dog, and so she's like, what? And so she follows him because she like spidey senses a story. And a lot of things happen, right? He's an ex-SEAL, so he knows he's being followed. He like pulls a gun on her. He's like, "Why are you following me?" And so she comes up with a quick lie that she's like, "I got the sense that you're a matchmaker, and I want to find my match." But basically, she like starts to go undercover and hires him to
Ooh.
be a matchmaker, but she really wants to like tell his story in the newspaper.
Oh,
So it's
that
like a little bit of suspense. Anyway, that book's out already. I'm writing the second book in that series of
that's
the next Navy SEAL friend.
oh my gosh. I don't think I've read like a rom-com suspense, so I'll have to give that a try. That actually sounds like super cool. I don't know why I
It's
said
very
actually because
fun.
it is cool.
It's very fun. It's not like going to have you nail bite, like, right, it's a little over the top and
Yeah.
silly with its like suspense and thrillerness. I kind of equate it to, if you've ever read Tessa Bailey's My Killer Vacation, it's
Mm-mm.
kind of like that. Yeah.
Cool.
And so that's a very similar style of like, it's a rom-com, but there's a little bit of like murder mystery style happening.
Fun. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm writing the next book in that series.
Um, I'm not going in order when I ask this, but you write so many books, and I feel like your turnaround time is insane. Do
Oh,
you
thank you.
have, yeah, like that's very much like a compliment. Um, it feels like you're pulling off sorcery. Do you have any words of advice for maybe some of our like fellow writer, author listeners out there about like writing so much in a year, but like avoiding burnout?
Oof, tricky, really tricky. I will say I always think I'm a slow writer. Like I feel like I talk to other authors and they're every 2 months putting out a book. And I'm sort of like, I put out maybe 2 to 3 books a year. I think that the key for me, at least, because I have quite a bit of ADHD, is that I work on multiple books at a time.
Mhm.
And usually what happens is like I'll start writing a book, I'll get maybe 40% of the way through, and then I like start to burn out on that specific book where it's like I there's a plot snag or like something's wrong, I don't know what, so I need to like put it on the back burner, and then I pull the other book that I've been working on to the front burner, and like it helps me reset my brain a little bit to work on this one instead. And then I go back to this one. So like I tend to have multiple books finished closely at the same time because of how I sort of rotate this.
Yeah.
Um, I sometimes equate it to cooking Thanksgiving dinner, right? Where I'm like, well, I'm going to start the mac and cheese and that's going to be bubbling over here, but then I'm going to do the roux for the gravy. And then, I got to put the gravy over here to like simmer, and I'll bring the mac and cheese back to the front. So that's kind of how I personally write. And it prevents burnout so far, knock on wood, for me, because it's sort of like when I can feel the burnout starting, I can just switch gears. And I tend to write different enough stories that I don't get too convoluted or squiggly messy with those characters. Although I will say I see within my own work the stories that I've written like parallel to each other where I'm like, oh, this is pretty funny. Like they're both matchmakers, or like they both like there tends to be something that creeps in that I'm like, ooh, you can definitely see I wrote these at the same time.
No, I love that. I don't know. I really felt compelled to ask because I think, especially in the world of self-publishing, I feel like authors think that they have to like race against the clock and they have to
Yeah.
like mass produce these books. And it like, I don't want to say like diminishes the quality, but it definitely like impacts their headspace negatively. So I think that's so smart, being able to shift gears. Now, for more of our structured writers, that might be a little tough hat
Yeah, I
today,
don't think it's
but
for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. There's a really incredible author coach named Becca Syme. Many of us who write know her, love her. She has a lot of like wonderful free content out there, which is very much about like finding the process that works for you and your personality. So like that advice of the back burner rotation, it's certainly not going to be for every personality. But if you have a personality that's similar to mine, it might work for you. Like it might be worth trying. But she also deals a lot with burnout and like helping, teaching, explaining what burnout is, why it happens, how you get out of it. So for someone who's starting to struggle with that or is struggling or in the midst of a burnout situation, I would recommend going and listening to Becca Syme's podcast.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good. As a podcast girly, that that's awesome.
Yeah. She's great.
Awesome. Okay. So more in a general sense of like you as an author, what was the moment for you when you decided like, yes, I want to be a writer, I want to be an author, I want to publish books?
Hmm. I was in college, my senior year of college, and I was a photography major. And my final semester, I needed like one more random elect credit to graduate. And I was like, oh, I've always loved writing. I'll take a creative writing course. But I was like really last minute, so there were no creative writing courses open except for one class, and it was called creative nonfiction. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, I mean, I don't really write nonfiction, but okay. Like I didn't really write anything at that point. I enjoyed fiction more. So, but I was like, all right, whatever. I need a credit. This is a credit. So I signed up for that, and it was a lot of like working with like writing memoirs or how do you write an article for a magazine and make it interesting? Like how do you make it creative if you're telling the truth in nonfiction? It was a great class. And that professor, the first week that we turned in our first assignment, she asked me to stay after class and she asked if I was a writing major because she had never seen me before. And I said, no, I'm a photo major. And she was like, you chose wrong. Like you should be a writing major. And I was like, well, it's too late now. I'm like
Yeah.
8 weeks away or whatever, 12 weeks away from graduation. But she and I always stayed pretty close. Like we stayed in contact. She really encouraged me to write my first book. And she was at my first book launch party when it did
Oh,
finally come out. Yeah. So
that's
that was
sweet.
probably like the big moment that I was like, ooh, should I pursue this? Maybe I'll try to write a book.
Yeah. It's interesting that you bring up creative nonfiction because I think a lot of fiction authors, I don't want to say discredit nonfiction, but they think that like they're very separate entities, which
Hmm.
genre wise they are, but mechanics wise, there's a lot of similarities. I was an English major. I was a double major with English and media. But
Hmm.
my final semester of college, I took a creative nonfiction class, and it was so fascinating. And I say that as
Yeah,
somebody that like does not like reading nonfiction, maybe magazines, but like actual like memoirs or self-help rarely. I could not recommend a course like that enough to fiction authors specifically. Um,
I agree. But usually when you say that course name, no one knows what you're talking about, right?
oh
That's
no,
why I felt the
never.
the need to qualify because I was like, people are going to be like, what the hell is a creative nonfiction class? Um, yeah, but it was an incredible class.
Yeah, I don't know how your course went, but at the college where I went and how they did the course, a lot of it was based on they had like a writing prompts book, and so a lot of the nonfiction that you were writing was about you, like, and so I think it was also like a hidden therapy session in a way,
Hmm.
or like just a big old journaling class. But you couldn't like embellish because you can't lie, it's nonfiction, but
Right.
you have to find a way to make it cinematic, even though
Hmm.
it's real life, which I think is a really cool exercise for authors. You know, within fiction, you can do whatever you want, the sky's the limit, but finding a way to like kind of stretch your creative muscle to like make something movie worthy out of
Oh
your life.
yeah.
I think it's a hidden
Yeah, it
talent.
was It was really, and ours was similar. Like we didn't do entirely our own stories and our own work, but like I would say 50% of it was kind of that journal memoir style. And then the other 50% was we had to like go interview someone or I forget the assignment. It's been a while. College was a long time ago for me.
So speaking of kind of like unique writing approaches, because of obviously like you and I are both fiction authors, but we studied nonfiction. You have graphic novels, which I think is so cool. The fangirl in me is like dying over it. Tell us a little bit about how you got into like the creative process of both like writing and like producing those graphic novels and what made you want to do it in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, so graphic novels, writing comic books, it's like a very different way of writing. It is much more cinematic. It is much more like writing, oh my God, I'm smacking the table. It is much more like writing a movie script than it is a book. So for me, it was a real like change of the brain. It's actually the perfect book to do in tandem with prose or with a novel because they're so different. Um, and so, like for comics, a lot of it is, like if you're writing a book, you have to describe the setting. You have to describe like what the moon looks like, how it's like glinting off the lake, and you have to describe like the atmosphere, the mood, the feelings, the thinking. But comics, like you have very limited space. It's dialogue heavy, and a lot of what you're writing, no one will see. It'll go to your artist, and then the artist, like the heavy half of the heavy lifting is on your artist. So like it's not your job to describe the moon on the lake, it's the artist's job to draw it. Um, so it really like lifts a good 50% of that burden, potentially even more. Uh, I half joke slash not joking at all that I got into comics because I'm a Nepo baby. My husband writes and draws for Batman and has been writing and drawing comics for many years. So when DC Comics had an initiative to kind of get some more women writers in the mix, and he had created this universe called Batman White Knight, which I knew very well because I had obviously like read it with him and I had given my input on Harley Quinn. He basically said to the editors, he was like, you should talk to my wife. She's already a best-selling author, and she'd be a really good fit here. So that's how I kind of snuck in the back door.
Oh my gosh. So you technically have a built-in artist for your stuff.
Yes, he did not draw my books though. He
Okay.
was like I don't know how to describe it, but like it was under his umbrella. It was like his universe, his world, and then he would like oversee the books and he would draw some of the covers, but we had another artist who would do the interior art.
That's so cool. I've not like I don't think I've ever gotten to meet like somebody who's big into the graphic novel scene. So I just think that's incredible. What a cool like flex that you have. You're like, yeah, I have all of these contemporary books and I cross all of these genres. Oh, also graphic novels.
It's pretty funny at signings and stuff. Many times it'll be like the son of a romance reader or the husband of a romance reader who will be walking by the table and they'll just kind of like to a halt and
Oh
they'll be like,
yeah.
wait a minute. Wait, are you Katana? And like they usually recognize me because of the comic books. And I've had many, many female readers also who know the comic books, but I do think it's pretty funny when it's like the partner of someone walking by who's like, wait, what? What are you doing here?
Yeah, you get to appeal to like the whole household.
Yes. And like a lot of times you'll see the mom who's coming by who's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this one for my son or my daughter who love Harley Quinn." And so it's like they'll get it as like the Christmas gift or the birthday gift.
That's so awesome. Yeah, your literary universe is stacked. I was going through your Goodreads because I was like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm counting the amount of books she has out. And I was like, comic books. I was geeked out. But assuming somebody random off the street found you and was like, hey girl, I want to get into your literary universe. What books are you first pointing them in the direction of?
I would probably first point them to meet cute or your money back. My the Navy SEAL
Yeah.
romance. It's like the first in a series. It's one of the more recent ones. I think that as writers, as authors, we really grow in our talent and our ability as writers. And so I think like having one of the more recent books that is the first in a series is probably a good starting point.
Awesome. Okay, now for a couple miscellaneous questions. You were talking about, if somebody ran into you, like what authors do they love to read from? What about you? Like what authors inspire you or what authors like have written some of your favorite works?
I mean, I think like many authors, I'm a prolific reader. I read a lot of different styles, a lot of different genres. I do tend to make a concerted effort not to read a genre in which I am writing as I'm writing it.
Hmm.
So even though, which gets tricky because like I started writing rom-coms because I love rom-coms, right? And I love reading rom-coms, but if I'm writing one, I try really hard to step away from reading them. Um, I really love Abby Jimenez. I love Christina Lauren. I feel like when I was younger, I like Susan Mallory was a really big what's the word I'm looking for? Like inspiration in terms of like kind of that small town romance feel and like the world building. I think her like Fool's Gold series had, I don't even know, like over a dozen books or something in it. And then if we're not going like rom-com small town, as we've talked about, like Cruel Prince was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Um, I really did love Fourth Wing. It got me. And I love kind of some of the darker stuff too, like the author of Birthday Girl,
Oh,
and
Penelope
Credence.
Douglas.
Thank you, Penelope Douglas. I love those books. Um, Teal Swan. I actually just, it's on my TBR, it's on my list to read. Kiss of the Basilisk. Am I saying that right?
Yes, Lindsay Straub, I think is how you say her name.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
haven't read it
God.
yet, but it's on my list to start.
So I haven't read it, but I've been following her account for years because she posts like really almost like artsy fartsy like Renaissance painting memes. And
Hmm.
I like she just really has like my personal brand of humor. Um,
Yeah.
and then she went on this whole thing. She was like, "Yeah, I basically wrote a book about like Basilisk fanfic." And I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious." And she's like, "Oh, it's got a trad deal now." I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm
Heck yeah.
strapped. Let's let's read this." So it's on my list
Let's
too.
go.
I've got friends that have read it and just have nothing but good things to report. So
Yeah.
I'm not as much of a dark romance, but like every once in a while, I will go for one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
can't read them
same.
like back to back to back.
No. No, no, no. I need a palate cleanser
I'm just a little
for
too
sure.
grumpy for that.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
I read Hunting Adeline and the second book, Hunting Adeline, was
Yeah.
a little too dark for me. Like, oof, that was tough. That was a tough one.
I have heard. I have heard that it's like quite a jump up from the first book.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a bit hefty.
Okay, you're a theater girl.
Oh,
Um,
I'm very much a theater nerd. Yes.
like calls to like. I have to ask, top three shows if you had to pick. If you had to
Okay.
choose, if you had to choose.
But am I choosing top three shows that are like bucket list to be in as a theater loving girl, as
Ooh,
an
okay.
actress? Or am I choosing top three shows that I love to see?
I would love the answers to both because I don't want to
Okay.
make you choose.
Okay. Okay. Oof. Okay. Gosh. So I think top three shows to be in would be Les Mis.
Oh, yeah.
When in my younger days, I would have loved to have been Eponine. That ship has sailed. Um, at this stage, I'm like, I can maybe still play Fontaine. I'm hitting this stage though where I'm like, oh, soon enough, I'm going to be like master of the house woman.
Oh,
If someone doesn't do this around here soon, I'm gonna be stuck playing. I don't even remember her character's name, but honestly, I just love that show so much. I would just be in it,
mhm.
happily. Uh, Another favorite show that I would love to be in, I would say 9 to 5, the musical.
Ooh, okay.
Hmm. Love the movie, love the show. Not a super well-known Broadway musical, but
Hmm.
loved it. Um, and like, God, the third answer here is really tricky because there's so many bucket list roles that I'm kind of down between. The thing is, like, I just did the show Anything Goes,
Oh, yeah.
and I would love to play Reno. I did not play Reno. I played Hope, but like I would love to play Reno. But I feel like because I just did that show, it's like ugh, I can't even think of that show right now. I'm at burnout with that show,
You're
so
like, I'm
that's
done.
no longer on my bucket list at the moment. Wicked would be up there
Oh,
as
yeah.
Belinda, but that's like probably what everyone would be answering right now. And I also think Funny Girl would be a
Ooh,
really fun, meaty part to play.
nice. Okay, now if you get to sit in the theater and watch a show, what are the three
Okay.
that you're going for?
This is so hard. I mean, I think I would choose some shows I haven't seen though. Like that's if I
Okay.
could like choose 3 shows to see right now, it's like it's shows that I have like I would want to go see things I've not seen. So
Mhm.
there's a musical called Shucked, which everyone is talking
Yes.
about.
I haven't seen
I
it,
would
but I've heard, I think it's coming to like my local theater.
Yes, it's
Um,
touring right now. The national
yeah.
tour is about to happen. So you should see it. I'm gonna try to see it. It's going to Boston. Shucked is up there. Um I think Ragtime, I would like to see. That's on Broadway right now, I think, or maybe about to be on Broadway. Um, and then what would my third be? I'm going to say, I think it's still Les Mis.
Yeah.
Les Mis is like, yeah,
It's a
just,
masterpiece.
it's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. I don't cry
Mm.
often, and that show can make me cry.
Oh, yeah. I think for me, I don't know if I could pick the only show that I'm like, yeah, I want to be in it. I want to be in the Mamma Mia ensemble. I
Oh,
I am the biggest ABBA dork you will ever meet. I feel like self-proclaimed, but I saw I saw it when it toured and it was so fun. And as much as I love a solo moment, man,
yeah,
ensemble looked like they were having the time of their life. Uh,
yeah.
so I think if I could be in one, I would go in there. But like, I'm also a big fan of the opera stand.
Mm,
Um, One of my books is
classic.
actually a Phantom of the Opera retelling because I was so pissed that the Phantom did not get the girl. So I want to go see that. I've never gotten to see the actual stage play with my
Oh,
raw eyeballs. I want to go sit
oh, you
and
should.
feel, I want to feel the vibration of the organ through my chair. Like I would
Yes.
give anything.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a good one.
Also, don't feel bad about answering Wicked. Like Wicked's good for a reason.
It's so good. It's so good.
Did you go? I take it you went and saw part two?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Okay, but you are gonna go?
Oh, yes, I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to go very soon.
I was like, listen, it was really good. I would have sat for 4 hours if they had made it one movie. That's all I'll
So this
say.
is probably my one little complaint is like it's written as a one show for a reason.
Yeah.
It like again trying to be spoiler free here, but um act two is dark. Like it is
Yeah.
it's like you earn it. And like act one gives you the levity so that when you're sitting through it, it's like not, you don't just like sit through something that's like, oh, um,
It gives you that forward
yeah,
momentum. And without part one, and they don't give a recap or anything. You just go straight into it. And I'm like, can we at least
yeah,
get like the riff? and then start it? Like, can we just replay Defying Gravity and then go into
Honestly, though,
part
yeah, like
two?
again, it's not really meant to be broken up like that. Like it's meant to be one consumed product. Yeah, so that was always my one big, I was very concerned when, because I knew act like the first movie, I was like, yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. Like act one is the fun one. Like it's
Yes.
like if you're watching Into the Woods, right? Like
Oh my
you
God.
gotta see it all together, because otherwise act two, you're gonna want to like end it all. um
Yeah.
so yeah, so I'm sure it's going to be fabulous, and like it's such a talented group of people, but also it's going to be a little like it's going to be heavy.
Yeah. Okay. This was so much fun. I'm sorry I went
Yeah,
on a tangent about musical theater, but I had to.
I can always
Yeah.
talk musical theater for hours.
To kind of wrap up the episode, tell us a little bit where our listeners can find you and find your books to stay connected.
Yeah, I can be found on Instagram and TikTok. It's probably where I'm most frequent. The handles at Katana Collins. Katana is spelled like the sword, Katana. And then my books they're pretty much everywhere you can buy a book. They're I don't know. There many of them are on Kindle Unlimited. The print versions are usually on multiple platforms. So yeah, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, some your local bookstore might have them. If they don't, you can always go in and ask them to get them. Like if you want to support local, that's kind of the beauty of a local bookstore is you can pop in and say like, "Hey, can you order this book for me by Katana?"
That's awesome.
Always a good way to support local. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, break your fear of talking to a bookseller. They're excited to tell you about books if you
They're
have.
gonna they're gonna love to hear about a new book by an author they maybe haven't heard of. And
Exactly.
you're probably doing me a solid by having them order a copy, because maybe they'll like order a few and stock the shelves.
Exactly. Yes. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Katana, thank you so much for coming on the show, giving us a little early Christmas spirit. You guys, go read Rebel Without a Clause. It was the perfect pre-holiday pick-me-up, and it will get you right in the Christmas spirit right before your break, your holiday break. Good luck to any of you guys who are about to finish off finals. It's that time of the year. Godspeed. It's rough out there. We were talking about college earlier, and I'm just like, ooh, it's final season for these people. Good luck. I
Yeah.
feel like
Ooh,
that Ryan Gosling meme from like the 2010s where it's like, hey girl,
hey
got through
girl.
these finals. That
Yes.
would be
Yes.
great. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.